One of the most important reasons for the Great Recession is that the rate of growth of the amount of money in the economy, which is really the level of bank deposits, has collapsed. In 2005 and 6 and 7, the amount of money went up by about 10% a year, even a bit faster in some countries, including Spain. And then from 2008 onwards, the quantity of money stopped growing. This was largely because of the pressures put on banks to recapitalize. And the result of that was that the banks reduced the size of their businesses, they shrunk their balance sheets, and that reduced the amount of money in the economy, and that then led to a recession. So my message here is that we want our banks to be safe, we want them to be properly capitalized, but the process of getting them to a situation of better capitalization should take place over several years. It shouldn't be hurried, it should be gradual, and it's very important to make sure that the quantity of money keeps on growing. In the long run, the way to economic stability is to have steady growth of the quantity of money. So something that Milton Friedman kept on repeating time and time again in his lifetime and has been forgotten the last few years. Friedman was correct. And it was a mistake to have 10% growth of money across Europe 7 or 8 years ago, and even faster than that in Spain, by the way, and then to collapse from that to zero across Europe at the moment, and in Spain a falling quantity of money. That was a terrible mistake. We want to have steady growth of the quantity of money. And that then means the banking system must be managed. There should be steady growth of banking system capital. There should be steady growth of bank assets and so on. The mistake in the last years has been one can understand why the public and the politicians are angry with the banks. The banks have done some silly things. Nevertheless, by being too tough with the banks, they have caused the banks to reduce the size of their businesses. That has destroyed money. That has led to monetary contraction in Spain. That has led to the Great Recession. Let me once again reiterate the importance of steady growth of the quantity of money. This is not, by the way, bank lending to the private sector. It is growth of the quantity of bank deposits. That's the most important thing. Many businesses never borrow, but all businesses must always be able to make payments from their bank accounts, and bank deposits, steady growth of bank deposits is what really matters. The result of these official pressures on the banks to be very safe, good in the long run, but mustn't be too sudden, too hurried, too quick. The result of these pressures on the banks to recapitalize, to make their businesses shrink their risk assets and so on, was to reduce the amount of money in the economy. And the purpose of quantitative easing is to offset that by increasing the amount of money in the economy. And the easiest way for the government, or it could be the central bank, to put money into the economy is for the government or the central bank to buy assets from us, from the general public, and thereby increase our bank deposits. The government does not need to run a budget deficit for this purpose. It can borrow from the banks. The government is very creditworthy in its own nation, and then use the proceeds of the borrowings from the banks to buy back long-dated government debt, for example, from the public, from the insurance companies and pension funds, increase bank deposits, and then that should boost asset prices, that should get the economy moving again.